Hello and welcome to another episode of Cryptid's Corner. I know it has been several months, and that's actually why I'm making this video, is to explain why I have not been making videos. And simply put, it's because I'm burnt out. I am extremely burnt out. I am very tired. I'm just like physically and mentally and emotionally exhausted. That's honestly why I didn't even get ready for this video. As far as like, getting dressed in anything other than pajamas and like trying to put my makeup on. It's at this point I don't feel like expending that kind of energy, and especially for a video like this, it seems completely unnecessary. So the reality of things right now is that I have been experiencing burnout for a couple months, and it's something that I've had happen on many occasions like throughout my life, but I only recently discovered a kind of name for it because of course I didn't get my autism diagnosis tool, like fairly recently. So I never understood that what I was experiencing was burnout specifically. I always just kind of thought like, oh, I'm overwhelmed right now, but I could never really pinpoint like why. And now I realize it's just because like, yeah, I like day-to-day life can be very exhausting for me, and it's one of those things where it's like I don't notice it like as I'm doing things. Of course, like I work and I do everyday mundane things, but it isn't until like it kind of compounds is the best way I can explain it. Like it just builds up over time until I get to a point where it's like now where I'm just like done with everything. And I can't even like I don't have the energy to even like paint or draw or even think about painting or drawing. Like my mind, like I just, even the thought of doing anything that's like semi-productive just like feel like I just can't even, my brain refuses to even like comprehend it. It's kind of just like no, we're not even gonna consider it. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah, it's just, and I know it goes hand in hand with depression because I do also have depression, and I know burnout can like intensify depression and make it worse, and I am living proof of that yes, it does do that. I had like a bout of depression a couple weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, that has since like fallen off. I don't feel as like, like just sad, just big sad, as I did then, but I very much am still very like exhausted, drained. It's really like, it's just like a physically draining feeling where it's like no matter how much I sleep or like how much I relax, I'm still just exhausted. Um, Sleep has been another thing. Like my sleep has been all over the place, just off, because like some nights I literally can't sleep. I just have to get up and I spend hours awake. And so yeah, it's just stress. Like it just makes you more stressed because like you're not getting sleep, you're not relaxed, you feel mentally tired all the time. So like even like just doing things like work, it's like that's enough for me. Like I work during the day, and by the time my like 8 hour shift is over, I'm like, okay, like that's it. Not gonna do anything else. Even on the weekends, like I had weekends where like I kind of hung out with my partner and like we just did just went out, did weekend things. But even then, like I had time where I was at home and like I could like the thought of doing anything like besides just like sitting on the couch reading was just like I don't think so. Like I don't think that's gonna happen. And it's bad because it's a mindset that I struggle with because me personally, like I don't like being idle. I hate kind of like sitting around doing nothing. So it's a struggle for me when I like physically cannot do anything. And then I have this like other side of my brain that's like yelling at me to do something. And I know it's also like a product of just like the general society that we're in right now, especially like for my age group where it's just like, rise and grind. Like everybody has to do things all the time. You have to constantly be working for your like own business, and you have to always be pushing out content for social media, and you just have to always be like in the forefront with your face out there, and you always have to be like doing something, making some sort of content. And I got caught up in that. Like it's easy to get caught up in that. As an artist, like yeah, it's what you have to do is you have to put yourself out there, you have to put your work out there, you have to constantly be producing work. And right now, like I don't want to do that, and it's frustrating because then I start feeling like, oh, I start seeing other people that are like pushing harder than I am, and then I start to feel like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Like maybe you have to have a stronger mental fortitude in order to like be successful in anything. And it's kind of like that really like bad toxic mindset that I don't want to have, but I'm like still working on. So yeah, at times like this when it's like I don't feel like doing anything, then I have like that weight of like guilt on me as well. Just because like I said, I do like to do things. I'm a very active person in the sense that I'm very creative. I like to always be doing something. So like the times where I can't, it really bothers me. Not only because I'm like, oh, like I'm falling behind, but it's also just because of this idea that I'm like, you know, like you should be doing something. It's always the should. Like no matter how I feel, it's like ignore those feelings and you should be doing something. Like forget it. Push past it and like just make yourself work. And sometimes that does work for me. In the sense that like I also have anxiety. So sometimes the best thing for me to do is just to like do the thing that I don't want to do, and usually that makes me feel better because I've gotten past that hurdle. But in instances like this, it's not that I'm like worried about doing something, it's that like I can't do it because like I just don't have the energy. So like forcing myself to do something, usually I end up producing stuff that's like it's not good, you know. It's because I'm forcing myself to do it. I don't really care. I'm just like trying to like make myself do something so I can put it out there for people to see. So yeah, I have not been drawing, I haven't been painting. And it's bad because sometimes I'll get like bouts of like creative inspiration, which like last month, maybe the month before, I was doing fairly well. Like I was kind of like into different things and I was painting and like drawing more. But even still, like I really have not been like painting like I was. And I guess it always also sits with me because last year, dealing with like being stuck inside and all the things that the world is going through right now, I was able to paint a lot more, and I got like hell over like 20 paintings done, which is crazy for me. Like in between work and stuff, like I was able to do over 20 pieces last year, and I was just like constantly had things to do because I was like working through all that emotional crap that everybody was going through. So it was just like I had a lot to like pull from, and I was really into what I was doing, and I was really focused on like finishing my work. There's also, I was preparing for a solo show. I had applied because there was an art venue where I live that I really wanted to get a solo. Basically, I've been preparing for a solo show for years and years and years, so I have been painting so much. But yeah, I was like super prepared. I like put my application in. Of course, this is before things got more serious and like that was canceled. So yeah, like I was really working hard last year and like I was getting stuff done. I guess another problem is like, of course, shows have been canceled for over a year now, like art shows and like conventions and things. So I haven't been able to table at anything, which has also been bugging me because I like blame it. Like, okay, maybe you should get your online website, like put more stuff on there. But even the idea of like making more product, figuring out what product I even want to make, trying to like refine my art style, which is another thing that I've been like struggling with. It's just like, it's this constant battle of like, because I evolve and like my style changes like as I keep like working and painting. Like that means like my old stuff is no longer something that I want to like sell. And so like now I have all these old prints and things that I want to get rid of. I want to make new stickers. I want to make new products. And it's like, even like sitting down, like trying to write that stuff down, trying to think about like, okay, what product should I make? Like, what should I upload on the website? Should I be pushing that more? And it's just like, I don't want to. Like, I do not. Like, I'm at the point where it's just like, I don't care. And it feels bad to say that, but it's like, yeah, I'm in that mental headspace where it's just like, I do not care. Like, I'm just like, just literally existing right now. Like, I'm just going through the motions, just day-to-day stuff. And it's just one of those things, like, I hate getting like this, like, I hate feeling this way, because, again, I've had this very, like, it's happened often, and now I recognize it as burnout, like, where I get to the point where I'm just like, I cannot keep doing this, like, this cannot be, like, I'm crashing, and it's happened every year, it's happened multiple times a year, it's happened, like, most of my life, and it's one of those things that like I said, I never really understood why. Now I get it. It's because, like, I'm literally pushing myself like to the point of exhaustion every day without even realizing it, like pushing myself to act and do things and behave in a way that's like not natural for me. And then it gets to the point where like my body is just like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this. Like, you need to take time to just stop. And I can't do that because, like, yeah, unfortunately life is a lot. Like, I have to work. There's things I have to do. Like, I don't have time to stop and like do these things. I think that's another thing. It's just like having to, like, I rarely have time to relax, and then when I do, like I said, I'm like, I'm just so drained. It's like I can't like do any of the things that I want to do. Like I said, I do art. Like, I do art for me. It's like, I love art. I enjoy making things, but then like when you add this element of like, okay, well, I want to like sell my work, and I want to like have people look at it, like that like people say, like, yeah, when you turn something into a business, like it's different than just like having it as a hobby. Like it's more serious. You have to devote more time to it. Again, time that I do not usually have. So yeah, it's been a lot. I have not wanted to obviously record videos. I haven't even been thinking of topics, like anything to even record. I have not wanted to stream because of course I haven't been painting. So like, what is there to Twitch stream when I haven't even been like making anything? So I haven't felt like turning the camera. Oh, I did finish a painting that I actually, I'm proud of it. It came out good, but like I didn't want to record because I had the energy to paint, and I was like, yeah, I can't even think about like turning on the camera right now and like recording and answering comments and stuff. Like I was like, yeah, painting was enough at that point. Like just getting something done was more than enough. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I know it's something that I have to like work through and I will get over like I always do, but it's just like I'm at the point where I want to figure out a way to make things easier. Like I want to figure out a way that I don't get to this point where I'm just like done for weeks and weeks until I finally like get another resurgence of energy and I'm back to doing the same things, because that doesn't make much sense. But yeah, it's at this point where I'm kind of like at a crossroads with like everything that I want to do as regards to like life in general. Like I'm kind of stuck as to what I even want for the future. I'm kind of in this weird mental gray area where I'm like, I don't know exactly. Like I kind of feel like I'm in flux. Like I'm kind of in this area where I just feel off kilter, I guess. Like I feel off balance and like uncentered. And I know these are just words that sound like so cryptic, but what I really mean is just like, yeah, I feel unsettled with where I am right now. Like it's just this weird like energy where everything feels a little off. And I know it has a lot to do with my mental headspace, but also just like, yeah, I get to this point in general where I just feel like this is not working and I need to figure out something else that works better for me. So that's where I'm at right now. I wanted to get this out there because I felt like the least I could do was just like explain where my head is at and like what burnout feels like, what it looks like, because yeah, it happens, and it happens a lot. And specifically for those of us who have autism who might seem more, functioning, who can, go about day-to-day life, and it seems like we are not having many struggles. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, yes, we do struggle, and it usually sneaks up on us, and then it compounds, and then until it's this big thing like it is now, and it's hard to, like, bounce back from. I mean, yeah, and it has to do with a lot with just having to navigate society the way that it is without having, without, like, trying to, like, fit yourself into a box and trying to work at the same pace as everybody else, do the same things everybody. It's draining, and I know everybody can kind of sense that in a way. Most people, I think, like I said, society, like, we're in this, like, everybody's, like, trying to make something of themselves. Everybody's trying to get noticed in some way, trying to be successful in some way, and yeah, it's a rat race that we're all trapped in, and it gets exhausting for some of us. I know some people probably love it, and they're thriving, like working 24/7 nonstop constantly, but I'm not one of those people. I've never wanted to be one of those people, and I've never wanted, like, my life to be consistent of, like, labor. I know that sounds crazy to some people, like, you have to work. And again, this is not me saying, like, I just want to, like, laze around not working. I love doing things. Like, I love painting, I love drawing, I love, like, interacting with people, like, when I choose to and in the way that I choose to do it. I love writing, like, I love doing things, but it's just, like, I love helping people, too. Like, I love being able to, like, do stuff for people with other people. But it's just this idea of, like, I don't want that to be, like, my entire existence. And I want it to be more meaningful. I want it to mean something. Like, whenever I do put in work and effort and, like, blood and sweat and tears, I want it to be for something that's, like, that matters to someone, even if it's on a small scale. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. This turned into a existential conversation about life and humanity at large, at least on a singular level. So I apologize for that. That's not where I thought this was going to go. But then again, I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I turned on the camera because I felt like recording this and I wanted to take advantage of that. So yeah, this is what it is. I don't know when I'll be back to record another video. I'm not even going to say that I'm going to be back.